Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back with another video, giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. And today's topic is going to be on the men of the Lord and the servants of the Lord and the Lord himself, man. Right? Because brothers think that, brothers and sisters think that, the Lord was walking around saying, come, brother, and how are you doing, brother? And touching brothers on the shoulder and rubbing their arms. And they think people like David was just going around singing psalms and just praying and hugging people, right? That's not what was going on in the Bible, man. The men of the Lord are austere men, right? They're men of valor, men of stature. They weren't no just pushovers. They wasn't just, you can't be a servant in a chosen nation of the Most High God and not have any type of like violence in you, man. Because the Lord himself, what you find in Exodus, he said he's a man of war. So if he's a man of war, how much more his people, right? And in the law, the people of the Lord actually went to war, right? He actually had people called up by their family names and sent certain people to war, man, against other nations, right? So the brothers and sisters that's in this Bible, they're not people that's just, how you doing, and hey, how are you, and what's up, Jimmy, and shaking everybody's hands and saying what's up and passing out flyers and passing out Bibles to everybody. That's not what's going on, man. The people of the Bible were austere people, and they wasn't playing no games, right? So let's hop right into it. This is 1 Samuel 16 and verse 4, right? And it says, I'm gonna start from 4. I start from 4. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peaceably? Right? So the people trembled at the coming of Samuel, man. And Samuel is a man of the Lord. So you think they was trembling because, we trembling because, Samuel, he be giving out millions of hugs, man. That's kind of terrifying. They're not, no, that's not what was going on. They trembling because the word of the Most High God cuts and pierces people's souls, man. This word is cutting and it slices through people. And the Slakia and the men of the Lord wasn't walking around just hugging everybody, man. They was getting violent with people, threatening people, getting physical with people at times if they had to, getting firm with brothers, right? They wasn't just walking around passing out lollipops and teddy bears. Let's go build a bear somewhere, right? Let's make this and make that and play charades. That's not what was going on. The men of the Lord ain't play no games. As you just seen, they asked, are you coming peaceably? And they was trembling, man. Their body was all shaking. They probably sweating. Are you coming peaceably? And he said, and it says, and he said peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Right? So people actually feared Samuel, right? When he came through. They didn't, Samuel, he about to give out a million hugs. We don't got to worry about that, brother. That's a smooth, soft-spoken brother right there. No, that's not what was going on in the Bible. Right, and this is an instance of Yahweh Shai, right? Because Yahweh Shai actually got sarcastic with people, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you might be aware of the scribes, the scribes Slakia were Jake, you know how Jake get down. But there was Jake trying to actually confound the Most High and confound his words and basically trying to get the people to sway to their side and abandon and forsake Yahweh Shai. Some did and some didn't. Most of the people did and some didn't, right? So this is one of the scribes, right? And it says, so Luke 10 and verse 25, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, right? So they're tempting the Lord. They're trying to tempt the Lord and play games as if he don't know what's going on, right? Saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And they being sarcastic, calling him master. They're like, Master. So since you my master, what do I have to do to get into the kingdom? Tell me, wise guy. That's how this man was saying that, right? And the Lord said, he said unto him, what is written in the law? How readest thou? So he's saying like, what you read in the book? What you read? What are you reading? What have you been reading? Right? Whatever you read in the Bible, and it's telling you, Socket, whatever you reading in the Bible and what it says to do to receive salvation, that's what you do. But he was saying it sarcastically, like he was saying like, what is written in the law, what you read, that's how you get salvation. So he was being sarcastic. So the Lord actually was sarcastic, Slakia, right? He was using sarcasm. He wasn't just this jolly green fellow and just smiling and grinning at everybody. And, brothers getting smart and slick with him. And he just, I'm going to just turn the other cheek. And he was getting sarcastic with people, right? Let's get another precept. So this is Exodus 15:3, and it says, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So if he's a man of war, do you not, like I said earlier, do you not think that the men of the Lord were of war, man? They weren't of just peace. The Lord ain't just peace and prosperity. The Lord hates, right? The Lord, he loves, he hates, right? He shows emotions, man, to a certain extent, right? So this is Revelations 1:14. This is going into the description of Yahushua. I'm going to get to the point, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a slacker. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters. So that's telling you that he had a firm, strong, loud voice, man. So when he spoke, it spoke volume, right? When Yahushua opened his mouth, you couldn't mistake him for anybody else, and you knew it was Yahushua in the building, right? So do you think that Yahushua would have the voice of many waters just to be walking around grinning and laughing and passing out lollipops and, here, you get a page out the Bible. You get a page out the Bible. Here's a precept. Here's a precept, man. Edomites, here's this is how you get salvation, Edom. This is how you get salvation, Africans. This is how you get salvation, Moabs, which is the Chinese, man. Here you go, Japhites. This is how you get into the kingdom. He wasn't like that, man. He had the voice of many waters. When he spoke, it spoke volumes, right? And they knew what's up, man. They knew not to, when you talking to the Lord, you better not slip up and show any type of fear in you, man. Right? Because his countenance alone probably make you faint and die. Right? So, those are a few precepts. Let's get some more. This is Psalms 144 and verse 1. This is David. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. So David, as you know, he slayed Goliath. Right? And, that's what confounds me, man. Y'all brothers y'all love talking about David and, David was a righteous man, which he was. I'm not saying otherwise. Because, brothers get crafty. They take words and misunderstand them and, flip-flop things. So you gotta get real detailed for certain brothers and sisters. But, right, y'all say he's a righteous man and, he actually was slaying people and killing people, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to say it incorrectly, but I believe David had. I'm not gonna even do that because I'm not gonna put anything out there that's not true, right? But David actually had men that were set up to go to war, man. He went to war with certain brothers, right? He had a group of brothers that was slaying thousands of men, right? So David wasn't no joke, man. And he just said, blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war, right? And Slaki, I kind of lost my train of thought. But like I was saying, y'all brothers will say that David is a man of war and then go and say, oh, the Bible is only about peace and love. Didn't David slay Goliath, right? If everyone's so equal, why did the Lord have David slay Goliath, man? Why did that happen? Tell me, please. I really want to know. I want to know why David went to war with these nations and destroyed and conquered these many nations, man. Why? If everyone's so equal and the Bible's so, it's about peace and love, why is that? Why are these acts of war taking place in the Bible? Right? But back to the point. So he said, blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war. So David knew how to fight. And if you knew about David, right? I believe Saul slayed Slacky. I think Saul was able to slay hundreds of people or something like that. And David was able to slay thousands. Right? Let me see if I could pull that up. Bear with me. Yeah, Khan. So this is 1 Samuel 18 and verse 7. And the woman answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slayed his thousands. Right? So Saul, he slayed thousands of people, and David his 10,000s. So David slayed 10,000s of men, man. He slayed thousands of people, man. So this Bible is not just about peace. And the men of the Bible ain't about peace. They actually kill people. People get slaughtered and killed and brutally destroyed in the Bible, man. Utterly perishing in the Bible. Right? Let's get this precept. This is what Nehemiah now, right? So this is Nehemiah. Let me get which exact. All right, so I'm gonna start at 16. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. And if you ain't know, buying and selling on the Sabbath is illegal according to the law, man, of the Most High God. So that's what's going on. The men of Tyre, which are Africans, and that's to show you these Africans and these heathens, they're not your friends. You tell them, hey, chill, bro. I got to keep the Sabbath. Don't come into the gates on the Sabbath. And they still coming up to your gates trying to sell to you on the Sabbath. They don't give a damn about the Lord. They don't give a damn about you keeping the commandments. They just want to profit off of the men of the Most High God. And that's what they're doing now. I'm going off topic a little bit, but even with this society, the Gucci, Nike, Prada, anything else you can name, man, Supreme, Fila, whatever. The so-called white man in these other nations are profiting off of the pockets of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, because we are the people that buy the most in this nation, man. And all over the world, we buy the most, right? So these acts been taking place back even since then, man. Even now, the nations, they know we're supposed to keep the Sabbath, but they keeping us away from that, and they got us buying and selling on the Sabbath, man. Right? So these nations don't give a damn, right? But back to the point. There dwelt men of Tyre. I read that. I'm going to go to 17. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah. This is Nehemiah, because the men of Judah were actually buying and selling from the Africans. They was buying and selling from the Africans, and that's illegal to the law, or it's contrary to the law of the Most High God, and that's the law they're supposed to be keeping, right? So let's go into that word contend. Contend means to cause strife, stir up, contend, meddle, strife, be stirred up, to excite oneself against, engage in strife, to excite oneself against foe, wage war. Here you go again with war being in the Bible, right? So he said he's making war with the people of Judah right now, right? And said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath. And what he's saying is, he's not saying, did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath. He's saying, did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath, that's how he was saying it. He wasn't saying it calmly. That's why it says he was contending with them, man. He was getting riled up. He was getting loud. And he was beefing with them, man. Just like Jake would be on the streets beefing with each other. That's how it was. This is what was happening. He was beefing with the other Israelites and trying to get them in line, man. Telling them, you got to obey the Most High God. And you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Stop following after these damn heathens. Every time we follow after these heathens, we get destroyed. And we're more and more desolate. And we slowly but surely start forgetting that we're the Most High God's people, and we start losing our identities, man. And y'all today got to come back and realize that, right? But back to the point, Nehemiah was contending with these people, man, getting riled up and loud and beefing. He was beefing. He waged war against them, right? Not literally, but it was an argument, right? I want to get to the point. So verse 20, so the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them, this is Nehemiah, and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you, man. He said, I will lay hands on you. He said, I'm going to put these paws on you, man. Right? When you go back to Psalms 144 and 1, right? The Lord, blessed be the Lord that teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Nehemiah's hands was like that too, man. Because he was the servant of the Most High God. So he also knew how to fight, right? He mess around, hit you with a dragon kick or something. You try to come back to the gates and buy and sell, or sell to the Israelites, man. So he said, I'll lay hands on you, man. He said, you come back to these gates. You come back to my gates, and I'm going to lay hands on you, right? Let's continue. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath. So Nehemiah was so bold and so austere and he was probably big. He was probably big and bulky and, sometimes they probably seen him practicing his fighting and was like, nah, we can't really deal with Nehemiah. Even if it's 10 of us, it's 15 of us. The bicycle kicks and the flying dragon punches we seen him doing, I don't think we can really deal with that. So, we're going to stay away. We're not going to come on the Sabbath. We're going to come, we're going to come on Wednesday, Monday. We'll probably stay away Sunday because that's too close to the Sabbath, right? So that's what Nehemiah was dealing with, man. He was dealing with laying hands on people, right? So if brothers is not telling you this word, it's not the truth. They're not telling you the truth in the correct way, or the true way of the Bible, man. If they're not telling you that the men of the Lord were austere and they dealt with war and they dealt with putting hands on people and they got sarcastic, right? Then they're not telling you the truth, right? And all it takes is reading, right? When you go to Isaiah 34 and 16, it says, seek ye out the book and read, man. You got to read so you will see these things for yourself. So that being said, I'm going to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom.